Despite being a Democrat, President Biden continues to struggle with black voters ahead of the 2024 presidential election. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election, because as most of you probably know, Democrats for 50 to 60 years have won black voters by, 90 to 10 margins? They have won them by so much that it's kind of just a foregone conclusion that they're going to vote Democrat no matter who. And this cycle, it's probably going to be the same, that they're going to vote overwhelmingly Democrat. But there has been some signs in the past couple of years that, hey, something's happening with these black voters that is not good for Democrats. Now, let's be clear. Biden is going to win black voters at least by like 60 to 70. Alright, that's like the bare minimum. Absolutely worst case scenario, he gets a 70-point victory or whatever. But for a Democrat, that is absolutely horrific, and it's so bad that Biden right now has to campaign in South Carolina to show, hey, he's actually trying to win over the black vote that's right now, they're not as 100% behind the Democrat as they usually are. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, I want to be 100% clear. I am not saying that somehow Biden will lose the black vote. Hell, I'm saying the opposite. He's going to win the black vote by quite a bit. Even in the worst case scenario, I see him winning the black vote by like, 60, 70 points? But that is still a huge swing from the traditional 80-point victory with that group. I mean, that's a 10 to 20 point shift. So I still want to talk about how Biden is struggling with this group. No matter how you cope about it, no matter how delusional you can be, it doesn't matter. Biden is having problems with this group. So let's get right into it. Joe Biden doesn't need to worry about his prospects in South Carolina's Democratic primary next week. He's got that locked up, which is an understatement. I mean, Dean Phillips, he is running a candidacy for president. I don't know why he's still in it, but he has no shot in South Carolina. Biden is very strong on the Democrat side, at least. On the primary side, he is very strong in the state of South Carolina. Why do you think they try to screw New Hampshire over with the primary? Why? Because it's the one state that Biden is going to win. He also knows he's not likely to win the red states come November. It hasn't voted for a Democrat since 1976. So he's not worried about the primary. Hell, he's never worried about the November because the state doesn't even matter. He's spending this weekend in the state, intent on driving home 2 messages. He's loyal to the state that saved his campaign in 2020, which is an understatement. I mean, it's the state that gave him the presidency. Can we stop pretending that, he had a shot outside of South Carolina? He didn't. This was the state that, if he didn't win it, he was never going to be president. He wouldn't have even won the nomination. Trump would probably still be president right now. That's how important South Carolina is in the modern Democrat Party. And he's determined to win back black voters here and elsewhere who were central to his election last time. And again, another understatement. You think that they were central? They were the reason Biden won in 2020. Or hell, any Democrat can even win in the modern era. Can any Democrat win without black voters? No, they can't. Mathematically speaking, it is impossible. No matter how you spin it, A group that's 90-10 Democrat and make up what, like 10% of the electorate? That's huge. That's a 9-point swing just with one single group. You start doing the math and you realize, yeah, it's the group that gives Democrats any pathway. Biden will be the keynote speaker Saturday night at the state party's fundraiser dinner ahead of its first ever First of the Nation Democratic primary on February 3rd. Again, screwed over New Hampshire. He'll stick around to attend a political event at St. John Baptist Church on Sunday, in a state where politics and faith are intertwined. Deputy Campaign Manager Quinton Falks said of the primary that Biden's team was working to blow this out of the water by running up the score against long-shot challengers. You should win by a lot. This is the state that will be Biden's strongest state, at least in the early part of the primary. It wasn't 2020, is the reason he's in the White House now. But the fact that you're talking about that, that's not why they're doing this. They don't want to admit that, okay, we have a problem with black voters. That's why they're here in South Carolina. They're not here because, oh, there's a chance Dean Phillips can win. No. The president has been getting mixed reviews from some black voters in the state that came through for him in 2020, including discontent over his failure to deliver on voting rights legislation and other issues. And like I said, that's why he's in the state. Sure, it's not a swing state like Georgia, but A, it is still a southern state with a lot of black voters. And number two, it's early in the primary cycle. It's a double whammy. He's trying to show, hey, I actually care about you voters, all right? I don't just use you for votes. Anyways, see you in 4 years. Or I guess not in 4 years because he can't run again, but you get the point. He's only in South Carolina, not because he's worried about Dean Phillips. It's because there's a lot of black voters that feel like they got screwed. Last year at the outset of Biden's re-election bid, conflicting views among the state's South Carolina Democratic voters whose support had been so crucial to his nomination provided an early warning sign of the challenges he faces as he tries to revive his divisive coalition from 2020. Overall, just 50% of black adults said they approved of Biden in a December poll by the Associated Press Newark Center for Public Affairs. And this is why they're actually campaigning. They are so worried that, hey, only 50% of black adults are saying, we approve of this guy. That is compared to 86% in July of 2021. That is a 36% shift among the most important Democratic group. Now do you see why they're so worried about South Carolina? Because it's not just, they're going to win the primary. That's not why they're worried. They're worried that this is a sign of what's to come. If they don't stop the bleeding now, which they've had years to do so, but now they're worried about it, it may not stop. I mean, the AP Votecast in 2022 showed Republicans gaining support among black voters. And we know down-ballot Republicans do worse with minority groups compared to Trump for the generic ballot, for example. So if generic Republicans are doing better with minorities, in particular black voters, what do you think's happening with Trump versus Biden? The campaign is running TV ads in South Carolina highlighting Biden's initiatives that it hopes will boost enthusiasm among black voters. On his first day in office with a country in crisis, Biden got to work for us, the ad states. Yeah, I'm sure that you're working all right. Yeah, no, you're not. Cutting black child poverty in half, more money for black entrepreneurs, millions of new good-paying jobs, and he lowered the cost of prescription drugs. Oh, really? If this was the case, you would not have a 50% approval among these voters. He's BSing them. It looks like that some black voters are realizing they're full of it. The Democrat Party's full of what they're saying. Like cutting black child poverty in half? What? Maybe the past 20 years, okay. But in 3 years, he is so full of it. And this is why a lot of black voters are realizing, hey, the Democrat Party doesn't care for us. Look what's happening in Chicago. You have some of the most Democrat precincts in America in Chicago. It's like 90% black, it votes 100% Democrat. And they're protesting what's happening on the southern border. They're saying, wait, this mass immigration is now hitting our community and you're doing nothing about it? This campaign, I really think, sucks. They have no clue what they're doing. They're just sticking to the same generic talking points Democrats have used for decades. And again, Democrats will win this group by at least 70, 60 points. Best case scenario for Trump. But at that point, Trump wins easily. Hell, even in a okay scenario for Trump, or even for Biden, there is clear slippage among this group. You don't have a 36-point drop-off in less than 3 years if there wasn't something happening with this group. Especially a group that, even when Obama was at like a 38% approval, he still got like 85% approval among black voters. Here, not seeing it. It's a disaster waiting to happen, and that's why the Biden campaign is trying to stop it now. They're doing it in a dumb fashion, but at least they understand that there is some cause for concern with these voters. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.